Bitcoin has been volatile lately, and for good reason, because what just happened is the Bitcoin ETF has now been approved for the first time ever. People have questions, rightfully so. Is this good? Bad? In the short term, does this mean Bitcoin goes higher? In the long term, is this a good thing? We're going to discuss that in depth here in this video. We're also going to look at the charts for Bitcoin and what your important levels are and how high Bitcoin could potentially go in this upcoming year. It's also worth noting that 2024 is a halving year for Bitcoin. And some analysts and investors believe Bitcoin could hit as high as $400,000 per coin. This year, that will occur on April 23rd, 2024, when the reward goes from 6.25 Bitcoin to 3.25. Analysts at Blockware Solutions suggest that the 2024 Bitcoin halving could propel the price to a staggering $400,000 per coin. So yeah, everyone's wondering, what's going to happen next to Bitcoin? And I think we have some answers to your questions. For anyone that is a little bit confused what a halving is and why that is important for Bitcoin and how it historically has given Bitcoin investors massive returns, well, here you are. This simply comes down to supply and demand. If there are fewer Bitcoins being made available, the price ought to rise, assuming demand remains constant or increases. In addition, miners only have half as much Bitcoin available to sell to cover their operational expenses, reducing overall selling pressure in the markets. The halving effect on the Bitcoin price this time around could be even more pronounced, as demand could increase at the same time that supply decreases due to some important developments within the space. One of those major developments has to do with the US Securities and Exchange Commission that just approved 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is the first time in history this has happened, and this officially takes Bitcoin mainstream. If you are a die-hard crypto investor, it might come to you as a surprise that not everyone has access to buying cryptos. Robinhood, Webull, TradeStation, and Fidelity offer access currently without this Bitcoin ETF to allow their clients to buy Bitcoin. The other brokerages do not. So if you are perhaps an older individual or someone that is not signed up on a crypto brokerage, well, you probably don't have access to buy Bitcoin. So this news today fundamentally opens the door for more dollar hollers to buy Bitcoin. It's as simple as that. That's a positive thing. But back to the topic of halving. Now, the first halving took place on November 28, 2012, and reduced the reward from 50 to 25. The price at the time of the halving was $13. The next year's peak was $1,152. That was almost a 10,000% return. Halving number 2 took place on July 16th, 2016, and reduced the award to 12.5 Bitcoin. The price at the time of the halving was $664. The price 1 year later was $17,760. That was about a 3,000% return. The halving number 3 took place on May 11th, 2020, and the reward went down to 6.25 Bitcoin. The price at the time of the halving was $9,734. The following year's peak was $67,549. That was roughly an 800% return. But this time around, the estimates are all over the place. People are very bullish right now on Bitcoin, justifiably so. As rates go lower in 2024, that tends to help Bitcoin. We just got a spot Bitcoin ETF, and we're getting the halving all in the same year. What could go wrong? Coin Codex sees a Bitcoin price peaking above 170,000 in August 2025 before retracement to levels near $95 to $100,000. Bitcoin believes there will be a new all-time high sometime during the pre-halving period, so before April, with the post-halving peak seeing prices over $250,000. Popular analyst CryptoCon sees a new high of around $130,000 about 4 years after the previous high, or sometime around November of 2025. Marshall Beard of Gemini threw out the $100,000 price figure given BTC reaches its previous high of $69,000. So I mean, it's really up for speculation at this point, how high Bitcoin is going to go. But we know one thing for sure. We're 3 for 3 so far on Bitcoin halving years and following thousands of percent returns, or last time 800% returns. Could this time be smaller than 10,000%? Well, obviously, it's probably going to be smaller than that. Could it be 800% or 1,000% from here? Of course. A 1,000% return over the next year, which if you average out 10,000, 8,000, 800% returns, that's on the low end, okay? 1,000% from here would put Bitcoin at about $480,000. So a 500% return would put Bitcoin at about $250,000 per coin. As the stars align potentially for Bitcoin, if we do get more activity via this spot Bitcoin ETFs, if we do see rates come down and we get a successful halving and nothing crazy happens in the meantime that kills investor enthusiasm, could you see Bitcoin at $200,000+ over the next 12 months? Absolutely. But in the near term, don't be surprised if you get a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event, especially in regards to the Bitcoin ETF. That's not my base case assumption, but it is a possibility. If you do take a look at Bitcoin at the moment the spot ETF was actually approved, Bitcoin did indeed sell off a little bit. It sold off about $600 or so and then recovered, and well, now you're doing well again. And if we take a look at Bitcoin on the daily candlestick chart, you're not overbought on the RSI. You're at 63.41. So that actually suggests you could rally quite a bit more from here before you're on the overbought side. And Bitcoin can stay overbought for a long time. So that doesn't mean too much of anything. The main level you really want to be watching for is that 50-day moving average for any kind of pullback here. I think you either pull back to the 50-day moving average, you do what you did on January 3rd, and you come down and you hit $41,975 or so, call it about $42,000, and you bounce again from there, or you see a larger move higher. You could potentially start to break out above 50,000 here in the not so distant future. I mean, after all, with all of these stars aligning for Bitcoin, you're still down from your all-time high over $20,000. Let me know what your opinions are down below in the comment section. Where is your 1 year ahead price target for Bitcoin? Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.